guest lecturer. Okay, so before we begin of our guest lecture today, oops, sorry. Okay, before we begin of our guest lecture with two amazing speaker today, so also let me inform you like some webinar protocol, yeah, that you may follow. You may follow the webinar protocol. You may see from the video below. So let me share the video protocol webinar for today's session.
Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, before we start commence the program, and here are the following webinar protocol. For each participant ID, please use your real name following with your origin of institution. All of participants are expected to mute the audio and only unmute the video during the event. We cordially invite you to take your own firm and comfort seat in your own room and please avoid the backlight. Make sure that you have a good and stable internet connection. If you have an earphone or headset, we recommend you to use it so that your voice can clearly and loudly to be heard. During the Q&A discussion session, all participants, please use the chat box to deliver the questions. Thank you for your cooperation and consideration.
Yeah, okay, so that's the video of webinar protocol for today's session, and I would like also to remind for every participant who join of our session today, don't forget to kindly fill your attendance. Yeah, later my colleagues will be shared to you the link for the attendance to the session in bit.ly attendance underscore GLS. Yeah, the committee will set attendance link in the Zoom chat room as well. And I would like also to remind for the participant who wish to get an e-certificate and stamp for it for the e-test student, please kindly fill the attendance about 15 minutes after the session will be start. Yeah, and also don't forget later, as we remind from the protocol, we will also share the link for the question and answer sheet that you may fill if you have further question later during the lecture for today. Okay, before we begin, yeah, let me greeting for our first speaker, yeah, for Professor sorry, Sir Albert, yeah. So she called me to Albert. Hello, Sir Albert.
Hello, mic test. Can you all hear me? Am I being heard?
Yes, yes.
Hi,
Let me
pleasant afternoon to everyone.
get you in the spotlight. Okay, okay, Sir Albert. So mabuhay, and thank you so
Go ahead.
much, yeah, for joining our lecture today. So for the first speaker, I would like to give the time to the Doctor yeah, Sir Albert to start off the guest lecture today, and hopefully the participant enjoy the lecture today. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, Wayu. Of course, the organizers of this GLS on Sustainable Development Goals. Thank you very much for the invitation. I'm very much humbled by the invitation to Professor Arlen Ancheta, who would be speaking next to me. Magandang hapon po, ma'am. Mabuhay, everyone. So mabuhay means long live, no? And good afternoon to everyone. It's 4:44 here in the Philippines, and like what I said, I'm very much honored and grateful for the invitation for me to speak on behalf of the Batangas State University. So let me share my screen. Can you now see my screen? I'm sharing my screen. Okay. Okay. Before I proceed with the topic assigned to me, which is on SDG 9, Industry Innovation and Infrastructure. Specifically, I will be sharing the Bat State U innovation journey. So allow me to first introduce to you our university, the Batangas State University. So I'll be playing a very brief AVP of the university, which basically discusses, which focuses actually on innovation. So let me.
Batangas State University, a 3-star university listed among the top universities by the QS Stars rating. The first and only state university in the country with engineering and IT programs accredited by the US-based Accreditation Board for Engineering and Technology, or ABET. A National Center of Excellence in Electronics Engineering and National Center of Development in Mechanical Engineering and Electrical Engineering. A research and learning hub with 15 research and development centers and maker spaces with state-of-the-art equipment and laboratory facilities. A consistent top-performing school in engineering licensure examinations. Provider of emerging academic programs in engineering and technology in order to produce competent workforce for industries in a developing economy. Endorsed by the Regional Development Council as Calabarzon's Center for Science, Technology, Engineering, and Environment Research and Center for Technology Business Incubation and Development. Home to the South Luzon Hub for Technopreneurship and Innovation. Breeding ground of innovators, technopreneurs, startups, and knowledge creators that provide engineering and technology solutions to social problems. A knowledge-based institution that forwards innovation programs resulting to the development of new products and technologies that satisfy customer requirements and respond to the needs of the industry and the general society. All of these put Batangas State University at a prime position to expand its mandates and become a key national player in knowledge creation and innovation. This is concretized by the establishment of the Knowledge, Innovation, and Science Technology Park. On May 22, 2020, President Rodrigo Roa Duterte signed Proclamation Number 947 designating the Bat State U KISS Park as a special economic zone. This makes it the first PESA-registered KISS park in the country. As an IT park co-located in a thriving university, the Bat State U KISS Park is a prime destination for locator companies and tech startups to foster dynamic collaboration among universities, multinational companies, and government agencies. PESA-registered enterprises will benefit from the high-value intellectual capital and physical resources of Batangas State University, including tax holidays and other non-fiscal benefits from operating within this newest ecozone in the country. It is located at the heart of Calabarzon, the second largest economic region in the Philippines that hosts a variety of emerging industries. The Bat State U KISS Park facilities will include Technology Hub, Design and Innovation Building, Information Technology Centrum, Data Center, Convention Center, and a KISS Hotel. Its accessibility, buoyed by the booming Batangas economy and the warm hospitality of the Batangueños, make it an ideal home to business locators and enterprises. The facilities in the newly constructed 5-story Bat State U Science, Technology, Engineering, and Environment Research Hub are already available for locators. The research centers and the locator spaces in the Steer Hub synergize a collaborative working environment for knowledge sharing among researchers, startups, and industry locators. These include Manufacturing Research Center, Electronics Research Center, ICT Research Center, Alternative Energy Research Center, and the Center for Technopreneurship and Innovation. As a technology business incubator, the Center for Technopreneurship and Innovation hosts challenge labs, ideation and incubation programs, design thinking workshops, hackathons, business model pitching competitions, and other tech-innovation activities that would jumpstart innovative products and technology solutions for customers and industry needs. A dynamic partner in regional development, Batangas State University will continue to strengthen industry academic partnerships, generate new knowledge, and produce innovative solutions to real-world problems. Batangas State University expands its mandate to actively participate in nation building as a premier national university that develops leaders in the knowledge-based economy by leading innovations and transforming lives.
Okay, so that is Batangas State University in a nutshell. So we are a university that has been around since 1903, and we started as a trade school, and in 2001 we became officially a university. We are centers of development and excellence, majority in engineering program. We are a very big engineering university, and we have also ABET accreditation. In fact, just recently, this April 11, 2022, we now have a new mandate because the university is now designated as the Philippines National Engineering University. So that is by virtue of Republic Act 11694, signed into law last April 11, 2022. So as a National Engineering University, we are mandated to focus not only in the province of Batangas, but also nationwide through engineering education, active research collaboration, and high impact extension and community services. So that is through engineering. Tomorrow, actually today, we're very busy because we are preparing for the Inclusive Innovation Conference 2022. I'm inviting everyone to please watch this conference. It will be held actually tomorrow and the 25th and the 26th. It's May 25 to 26. We're co-hosting the Inclusive Innovation Conference with the team Leadership and Innovation, Key to Sustain Competitiveness and Economic Growth. This is in partnership with the Department of Trade and Industry of the Philippines. In partnership also with USAID, RTI, and the Philippine Association of State Universities and Colleges. Apologies for my attire because I am in working clothes right now because there are a lot of things that we are working on, and I'm the conference chair for this for the Bat State U. So we're very busy, but I'm still happy to be with you. No? Okay, so allow me to start my formal presentation, give more details on what I presented in the video, highlighting, of course, our innovation programs and telling some stories on how we are doing it at Batangas State University. So Bat State U continues to be a catalyst for building an innovation ecosystem that supports the broader participation of its stakeholders in developing products and services for national development. So that's our new mandate. We are into spearheading innovation programs that can result in products and services that impact the community and the industry, and we do that through various programs. So allow me to introduce to you this Steer Hub. This is actually a 5-story facility. The Science, Technology, Engineering, Environment, and Research Hub is actually a hub of research centers, which is also now the transition facility of our technology park. So within the campus, as what you have seen in the video, we are developing actually a technology park. So that technology park is registered under the Philippine Economic Zone Authority, and we envision a dynamic collaboration of the industry and the academe, to promote even further the innovation ecosystem. So on the ground floor and the second floor of the KISS Park of this PESA facility are And now which it is being we are transitioning to that KST park through this Steer Hub. So this Steer Hub is a 5-story research facility which houses a couple of research centers at the ground floor and the second floor. We have the Center for Technopreneurship and Innovation. We have the Electronic Systems Research Center, the GIS Applications Development Center, Digital Transformation Center, Material Science and Testing Research Center, and the Manufacturing Research Center, or a Fab Lab, which we call Likha Fab Lab. So on the third floor, there you can see some locator spaces for local startups. And for the fourth floor and the fifth floor, that's dedicated for our PESA locators. So if there are startups here who probably are watching and who would like to scale their technologies or their startup in the Philippines, I'm welcoming you, and I'm proposing a collaboration with you through this Steer Hub. No? Okay. So it was formally opened last March 2017, it was we got an endorsement actually from March 2017, the endorsement from the Regional Development Council for it to be designated as Albertson Center for Science, Technology, Engineering, and Environment Research, and it was formally inaugurated last December 2020. So even during the pandemic, as you may have seen, a lot of innovation activities has been going on in the university. We launched this Steer Hub, and then we got our endorsement, the PESA declaration, the Malacanang proclamation for our Bat State UKIS Park. So even in this pandemic, there are a lot of things that have been going on in the university. So allow me to discuss in detail the component of this Steer Hub, because we believe that these research centers here actually have the potential to develop innovations in partnership with the industry. No? So we have first the Center for Technopreneurship and Innovation, or CTI. We call it CTI. CTI is a university-based technology business incubator. As a technology business incubator, we serve startups. We started supporting startups within the Calabarzon region. We are technology agnostic, and we are designed for early stage startups. So we are focusing on sustainable entrepreneurial ecosystem, not only for the university, but also other academic institutions within the region. Since we are catering to the regional level, the region I'm referring to is Region 4A, or Calabarzon, which is composed of 5 provinces. Okay, so the CTI has 3 major pillars. We have collaboration programs, we have technopreneurship, and we have incubation. So allow me to discuss. So under collaboration, we partner with several funding agencies, government agencies, as well as nonprofit organizations, and even universities and institutes. So majority of our partners, universities, are coming from the Philippines, and I would like to partner also with some universities outside the Philippines. And this is a welcome development that we are invited by Indonesia, and I do hope that we can have active collaboration also in the future. So what happens here is that through this partnership, we're able to push forward a couple of programs to support innovation, to support our startups, because the main goal of the CTI really is to develop startups who will have impact to the community and the society through the products and the services that they are providing. So we have this incubation program that allows a lot of support and resources to these startups, because as you may know, if you're a startup, there are a lot of challenges that the startups has to undertake. So we are an incubator that assists them every step of the way until such time that they hatch really into a full business, having the courage to set up their to really scale, no, and to do wonders for the community and the society. So that's the program for collaboration. So regularly, we have some collaborative activities like introduction session in partnership with these agencies. We also have a couple of pitching competitions. So we've been running a couple of pitching competitions in a year, minimum of 2 pitching competitions. We've hosted since 2019, 50 plus events. And so under the next pillar, which is T for technopreneurship, this is an institutional program of the university. Technopreneurship is required to be taken by students under the engineering, computing sciences, and technology programs of the university. With the inclusion also of business in this program, we are able to train at least 1,000 students per semester on technopreneurship. So that's embedded in the curriculum. We train them, and the output actually are amazing topics, case studies, and eventually even startups. So this technopreneurship class actually is our feeder of our incubation programs in the university. So what can our incubatees, the students or faculty, or even professionals get from this program? They can have access to our facilities, access to seed capital from the university. We assist them in market development, technical development. We do offer a lot of capacity building, legal and admin support, intellectual property rights services. We offer tailored mentorship because these startups may have different stages of development, so we teach them as well. And exposure, which is also very, very important. Exposure, even abroad, we send some of our startups to some events, pitching competitions, whichever will match the criteria of these institutions. Okay. Some notable incubators that we have. We have a big program on disaster risk management. So we are deploying some customized early warning systems embedded with AI and incorporating decision support system. This particular technology have been deployed not only in the Batangas province but also in other provinces and regions in the Philippines. It is a finalist in the Tech Planter Philippines in 2020, an exhibitor in ASEAN JAIF Abinet Business Matching in Indonesia in 2020. Yeah. Okay. So we also have Robin. Robin is a reverse vendor that accepts recyclables such as PET bottles, tin cans in exchange for amazing rewards. So currently, the team lead, Emmanuel Bobes, is working on a project funded by the Department of Science and Technology to scale this in malls. You can see Robin in malls, hopefully in the future. Another one is Bryce, our biodiesel reactor yielding commercially available energy. It is a finalist in the Shell LIBOR program in 2021. Delegate of the second Abinet annual meeting in Singapore, and the champion in the spear pitching competition. This one we're doing before in partnership with Singapore Polytechnic. So Bryce is actually a machine infused with technology that converts waste cooking oil to biodiesel that can power up generators. So a couple of case studies, okay. Sigaw, for example, is a case study developed by our alumni. So an alumni who graduated from the university decided to set up their own startup. So we have Wiser. This faculty, this Robin is the one which is developed by our alumni. The first one, Wiser, is the startup actually, which is implemented by some of our faculty. So this one by our alumni, and the other one, the Bryce, is something that is developed by our students. So output of their research, their thesis, now they are scaling this into a startup as well. And just recently, in 2022, our team from the university, Team Wonder Pets, developed this water remediation using metal organic framework derived from PET bottles. They actually bagged the first place in the UNESCO World Engineering Day on March 4, 2022. The first time that UNESCO, the World Engineering Day, did this event. There are 125 teams from 23 countries, and the all-girl team from Batangas State University bagged the grand prize. It's a metal organic framework-based absorbent material from waste plastic bottles for the removal of toxic dyes in water, addressing SDG 6, or the clean water. So definitely, as you may have seen, all technologies that we are showcasing really responds to certain SDGs. Okay, yeah. So under the incubation program, so you can see here our facility. This is where our startups hold meetings. This is their hot seats, their locator space and co-working space within the Steer Hub. And just recently, last year, we bagged the best incubator infrastructure award from Department of Science and Technology. Okay, and we were also nominated for People's Choice Award during that time and Best Governance and Operations Award. Okay, so that's a milestone for the CTI. So currently, we've supported 109 startups, graduated 17 of them, created 35 jobs, and 24.8 million worth of total secured investment for startups. So we've completed a couple of projects, most of which actually are funded by the Department of Science and Technology and the Commission on Higher Education. Okay, these are just snapshots of the program that we are doing. Basically, we are actually supporting this early stage startups, teaching them the basics of setting up the startups until they part of that is ideation session, topics about intellectual property, branding, business modeling, and even pitching. So we do those types of training for our startups, not only for our startups, even for our students and even our faculty. Okay, so we are also a contender university for the HALT Prize. So we've been participating in a couple of HALT Prize Challenge. It's an international initiative that promotes innovation depending on a specific social sustainable development goal, a certain SDG. So they do this every year. They focus on a specific SDG, and the challenge is for students and faculty within a certain university think of solutions that address these thematic areas. Okay, so we've been participating in these events. We have a lot of we're fortunate to have been given trainings also abroad and participating and networking with this innovation ecosystem in Asia as well and in the United States. Okay, so currently we also partner with some providers to support our faculty. We have regular teaching, we have regular training for our faculty because we believe that we have to upscale as well as to improve our set of skills. So that's a regular training that is very common. So the second center that we have is a Digital Transformation Center. So basically this focuses on research for ICT related projects such as Internet of Things, business analytics, data mining, and other ICT facets aimed at improving quality of life. Okay, so that is DTC. So they've been busy in conducting capacity building program as well, and even hosting some seminars related to digital transformations, such as that of cybersecurity, AI-driven digital transformation, among others. We also have an electronic system research center. So basically, these research centers actually support these startups whenever they need to, let us say, do product development. These research centers would support these startups. So this one focuses on the electronic products. We have a big program for disaster risk management, like what I mentioned, and we have also a big program related to smart farming and precision agriculture. We have another center, the GIS Applications Development Center, which focuses on mapping different resources, may it be for agriculture, for industry, and the likes, we do that through our GIS Applications Development Center. Okay, next we also have the Material Testing and Calibration Center. This is a specific center for material science and engineering, as well as calibration. The Batangas province, actually, in the Philippines, is very much close to these industrial parks, and we are catering also to these industries who needs the services in terms of calibration. Okay. And we have, of course, our lab space for innovation, knowledge honing, and application. This is a fab lab. We call it Likha Fab Lab. So Likha is a Tagalog term which means to create. So that's the very purpose of a fab lab, to create amazing things. So we've been supporting a couple of MSMEs and even industry clients. If they want to prototype something, then that is where the Likha Fab Lab comes in. One of the busiest research centers actually in the university. And now we have, of course, the KSD Park, which is an pioneering program. We are developing that very close to our engineering campus in Alangilan, Batangas City. It's a 3-hectare facility. It's just small, but something that can be, we treat that also as a startup. No, we treat that KISS Park as a startup because no one has that facility. So we are pioneering in such, and we're trying to still develop it. We're looking at a 6-year development plan. And what we would like to see here are that the startups that we train in our Center for Entrepreneurship and Innovation would have now the capability to export. So this is a PESA facility, and as a PESA facility, we can provide support such as tax incentives and the likes to our locators. So currently, we already have our locator in the KST Park. We have our first locator, and we are developing research and development with this company. So that, I think, is the beauty of the partnership, because through collaboration, the industry is engaging more with the university through research and development, through product development, and through innovation. So last May 2020, as I made mention, the KST Park was proclaimed as a special economic zone. And we had a formal launching on July 2020. And we have now partnership with the Embassy of India. So we are catering also to foreign partners, and they will be locating some of their enterprises in our KST Park. We have the launching for our first enterprise locator called Pythos Philippines, Pythos Technology Philippines. Pythos is the developer of the first antiviral face mask. This is FDA approved, and what we did when we, as part of the collaboration, is that we did the simulation and the testing by simulation of this mask. So this now is being produced for some clients abroad, but we are developing something that is much cheaper. No, okay. So that is one example of collaboration with the industry. Okay. So I guess that's all for my sharing. I hope that I was able to give some information that I guess would be interesting to everyone. I'll be happy to share perhaps or to answer your questions perhaps later during the, am I correct, Mr. Wayu? Later after, or let me know if I can answer some questions after my talk. Thank you very much, everyone.
Okay, thank you so much, Sir Albert, yeah, for your amazing presentation. Yeah, related about the Batangas State University innovation journey. Yeah, that we can saw. That especially you mentioned some innovation for your facilities. Yeah, as the engineering and technology university is very quite interesting to saw your many facilities. Then also we are hoping, yeah, because we are you are university our prospective partner for ITS, so maybe we can have a future cooperation in the this year or next year, so we can start of some activities together. So thank you so much, Sir Albert, and also I would like also to remind for the participant who attend for the GLS and SDGs today. We please kindly hold your question and put in the link that we already my college is already shared in the chat box. Later we will answer your Sir Albert will answer your question if there any especially any related, yeah, about the presentation of the Sir Albert related to SDGs number 9. So thank you so much, Sir Albert. So maybe
Thank you very
before we
much.
open the Q&A, we will follow first, yeah, we will go first with the second speaker or second guest lecturer by also the same country, yeah, from the Philippines. Yeah, I would like to welcome Professor Arlen Ancheta. Hello, Professor.
Hi, good
Wait, is
afternoon,
it?
Mr. Wayu.
Good afternoon, Professor. Yeah, also very happy to see you again and come back to ITS.
Yes,
Okay, so without further ado, Professor Arlen, so followed by the presentation by Sir Albert related to innovation. Now we would like to hear the second guest lecturer from Professor Arlen, which also always interesting, yeah, also interesting like Sir Albert presentation is related to about zero waste, yeah, so SDGs number 12, yeah, which is quite, the issue is quite in right now in Surabaya. So without further ado, Professor Arlen, the screen and the time is yours. Thank
Thank
you
you
and
very
selamat.
much. Before I start my discussion on SDG 11, I would like to say thank you first for this opportunity of presenting our research on zero waste management. And it is an honor to be part of your GLS SDG. All right, so just a few introduction about our university. The University of Santo Tomas is the oldest Catholic university in the Philippines, and it was founded in 1611. So we just in 2011 we just celebrated our 400 years anniversary. Now going towards 500. No? So our university is located in the middle of the asphalt jungle of Manila. All right. And as a university in Manila, we aim to be a sustainable academic community amidst traffic and flooding. All right. And so as a university, we are offering an array of courses in the natural sciences, medical sciences, engineering, social sciences, humanities, theology, among others. Okay, so now may I share my presentation. All right. So the title of my presentation is Crafting Sustainable Cities, Zero Waste in Context. All right. And this is in line with SDG 11, which is Sustainable Communities and Cities. Okay. Now, sustainable SDG 11 is one of the critical SDG goals as it speaks of the holistic approach in creating cities and communities that are livable on a long-term basis. Livable cities are difficult to find in the globalized world. With rapid urbanization, a country has to sustain social inclusion, environmental governance, and circular economic systems at the same time, protecting the environment, the very source of development. Most of the SDGs are focused on one issue: poverty, hunger, health, education, equality, sanitation, clean energy, economic growth, consumption, production, climate, institutions, partnership. But in SDG 11, it is about sustainable cities and communities. It would offer a holistic approach in moving towards this sustainability, and it covers all of the different SDGs. So according to Lee Yishan, how can we urbanize while maintaining harmony socially, economically, and environmentally? How do we balance short-term needs with long-term demands? How do we ensure that we can go on building cities while retaining a healthy environment for our children and grandchildren? And so this is the major issue in SDG 11. It's about balance, it's about harmony, ensuring that urbanization would still maintain a healthy environment. So how do we describe livable cities? Of course, there are many indicators of livable cities, and livable cities are not created overnight. Cities are not created equal. Some cities have more resources than others. Some cities are well planned than others. More cities are congested because of economic opportunities. But behind this facade, cities have limitations, and thus they should have more green public spaces, the use of renewable energy, social inclusion, of course, walkability, and the law of moderation to sustain carrying capacity. At the same time, livable cities should protect the cultural values of the people, health, security. And then, of course, advocating green technology for clean energy as drivers of development. So what are the threats of urbanization? As urbanization is set to define the century, more than 50% world population now live in cities. In 1980s, the share of the urban world population of 39% has increased to 54% in 2015 and is expected to increase by 66% by 2015, with approximately 6.419 billion people living in cities. And to our listeners, better decide now, are you really going to live in cities for the rest of your lives? Or which cities do you want to live that will give you safety and comfortable life? There are many indicators of livable cities, ranking them based on health, healthcare, education, infrastructures, culture, governance, and environment. This time, included in the indicators is the impact of COVID-19. Thus, there are many ways of crafting cities, and strong governance matters. This presentation articulates solid waste management as one of the indicators of livable cities. The case study focuses on a provincial city in the Philippines that advocated zero waste management. And this research, this presentation is one of the SDG researches of our research center, the Research Center for Social Sciences and Education. In collaboration with the international NGO Global Alliance for Incinerator Alternatives and the Mother Earth Foundation. So waste as a component of cities. Waste has been part of man's life since the beginning of civilizations. However, as cities grew and became more complex, waste went beyond the household problem. From a household problem of disposing waste, it became a major concern of the communities, local government, and even the global society. Now, unmanaged waste brings health problems. Increasing volume of waste clog waterways. Burning of overflowing disposal facility enhances carbon emission. Buried waste, especially plastic, poison the soil. To make it more complicated, plastic is non-biodegradable, made from fossil fuel, which is non-renewable. On top of this, waste is cost to the government, to the household, to the community, to the government, in terms of salary of waste workers, collection vehicles, transport, tipping fee in the disposal facility, coupled with health services and pollution. And so we would like to be moving on the road to zero waste. No? What is zero waste? Zero waste was actually a business model used by Dr. Palmer in 1973 from recovering resources from chemicals. It means designing and managing products and processes systematically to avoid and eliminate waste and to recover all resources from the waste stream. In other words, it's just like diverting waste from going to the waste, to the disposal facility. In zero waste, waste is framed as a resource, an environmental good that moves in circular path, recovered through reuse, recycle, repair at source. Now, the objectives of the presentation is one, to illustrate how the city of San Fernando, Pampanga, was able to implement zero waste initiatives, to present the institutional arrangements that serve as anchor of zero waste in the city of San Fernando, and to illustrate how collaborative management facilitates zero waste practices at the grassroots level. How do we locate the city of San Fernando? So this is the map of the Philippines. Just like Indonesia, is an archipelago. So the province of Pampanga is located in the biggest island, which is Luzon, and just near the city of Manila, the capital of the Philippines. Now, within Pampanga is the capital city of San Fernando. So these maps would somewhat help you visualize the geographical setting of the area. Now, specifically, the study site is located at the crossroad of economic growth in Central Luzon. It serves as a platform for commercial, residential, regional offices, Kapampangan studies, regional studies, and educational institutions in Central Luzon. The Batangas State University is located in Southern Luzon. Our study site is located in Central Luzon. Well, these were the methods we used in our case study. So we have interviewed people, we surveyed households, and also community observations. Now we made use of guide questions, questionnaire, and photos. And for analysis, we use structural equation modeling and the thematic analysis of field text. Now, we also conducted pre-testing of the instruments in a similar area in Barangay Fort Bonifacio in Taguig. Now, so we used two approaches. The quantitative approach, the proposed model with 18 hypotheses to find out how they influence zero waste practices and some socioeconomic benefits. And for the qualitative approach, we crafted themes that would represent the issues raised by the key informants. And then eventually at the end of our study, we were able to create a model based on our research. Now, we will not deal so much with the treatment of data. We just want to present the method that we use. So for quantitative approach, we use the structural equation modeling. And for the qualitative approach, we use the max QDA. Our results and discussion. So zero waste initiatives in the city of San Fernando. Now, this is the mayor of the city of San Fernando, but in the 2022 election, he finished his 9-year term and he is now at rest from the political activities. So again, just to remind us all, to recall, one is to illustrate how the city of San Fernando was able to implement zero waste initiatives. Second is to present the institutional arrangements. And then third is to illustrate the collaborative management. Now, before I proceed, I just want to just to put you in the context of the Philippines, so of course we have the national government, we just have our election, and then the provincial government. So you have here the provincial Pampanga as the province, one of the provinces, and then San Fernando City, one of the city LGU, and within the city LGU we have the barangays. Now, in the case of Manila, Manila is under a metropolitan government, which is Metro Manila, composed of 17 local government units directly under the Office of the President. Okay. Now, first we have a national law on solid waste management, and this is RA 9003, which is popularly known as Ecological Solid Waste Management. It was implemented in the year 2000, but only few local government units followed the major elements of RA 9003. Now, most of the local governments in the Philippines still practice the linear flow of management. So that's from generation. What you generate will eventually all flow towards the disposal facility. Most of the local government units in the Philippines still follow the centralized collection of waste. No? So where big garbage truck would collect garbage from the different households, okay? Very centralized. Material recovery facility, which is one of the important elements of RA 9003, was not really followed for most of the local governments in the country. Not all local government units have material recovery facility. Not all of the LGUs segregate at source, or households not segregate at source, and still the local government units would collect non-segregated waste. Now, supposed to be the major goal of the ecological solid waste management is high diversion rate, meaning waste should be diverted from the final disposal facility. But since most of the local governments still follow the linear mode of management, so what you generate at home will all eventually end up in the disposal facility. So this is the linear process in waste management. I just identified three major elements. One is the household, the source of waste. Well, this presentation is just limited to domestic waste. No, we will not include here industrial waste, okay, or commercial waste. Now we will just focus on the household, the source of waste. So the household members, the generators of waste, but then not all segregate at source. So there is total collection of the local government unit, but then not all local government units have collection trucks. And so they hire contractors to collect and transport waste from the household to the disposal facility. And so most of the collection and transport facilities in the local governments, in the municipalities and cities, are run by private contractors. And then, of course, the city or the municipality will pay tipping fee for the disposal of their garbage to the landfill. And so tipping fee is dependent on the volume of garbage disposed in the facility. So the linear process of waste management. Now here we present the institutional arrangements in the implementation of zero waste in the city of San Fernando. So let's take a look at this illustration. We have 9003 on top, and then Senro. Senro is the City Environmental Natural Resources Office that is in the city level. And then you have here CSFP, that's the City of San Fernando, and Mother Earth Foundation collaboration, all working towards the material recovery facility. And so in institutionalizing ecological solid waste management in the city of San Fernando, you have the role of the CENRO at the city level, and then partnership between the city government and an NGO, Mother Earth Foundation, and then the collaboration, working together for the decentralized collection, segregation, and composting of waste at the grassroots level, at the barangay level. So here, the city of San Fernando was able to institutionalize RA 9003 through the city level and then barangay level in partnership with an NGO, in collaboration with an NGO. Now, the city government provided strong support system to ecological solid waste management. So they have a strong information, education, communication program in the city in collaboration with the Mother Earth Foundation. The city government fully support the ecological solid waste management from the different barangays, no, at going down to the grassroots level. And then, of course, one innovation of San Fernando is this City Environmental Natural Resource Office, the creation of this CENRO, no, that would implement solid waste management in the city. And then at the grassroots level, the barangay level, well, you have the full support of the different barangay leaders in crafting local ordinances supporting the ecological solid waste management of the city government. Okay. So this is now the second objective, to illustrate how the city of San Fernando implemented zero waste initiatives. So again, let's take a look at the stream, the compliance stream. So there was the compliance stream from the city government to the barangay level, and then within the barangay level, you have the role played by the waste collectors and the households. So the mandate to segregate at source, which is one of the major elements of RA 9003, is relayed through the existing political structures from the province of Pampanga, from the city of San Fernando, down to the barangay level. And then if you will notice, the size of the arrow widens from the tail to the arrowhead to show the importance of the households in RA 9003. Actually, in the whole solid waste management systems, the households play a very important role in waste management, because that is the source of waste, and reduction should begin at home. So if in the linear flow of solid waste management, there is centralized method of collecting and transporting waste from the household to the disposal facility, in the zero waste initiatives of the city of San Fernando followed the decentralized method. So households are required to segregate their waste into different types. No? So there's a ordinance on no segregation, no collection policy. So if the waste in the household is not segregated, then the waste workers will not collect them. So waste workers collect segregated waste according to schedule. So they're scheduled for biodegradables and recyclables. Now, if in the linear waste flow, there is the use of big collection trucks. In the case of San Fernando, there is decentralized collection, what they use is this tri-bike or small trucks that would collect the waste, segregated waste according to schedule, and they make use of these tri-bikes or small trucks so that they could enter narrow streets in the barangays. Basically, for big trucks in the city, these trucks cannot enter the narrow streets. And so sometimes we will just see garbage scattered along the streets because they are not collected by these big trucks. No? And collected wastes are temporarily placed in the material recovery facility. Okay. So the goal of zero waste is high diversion rate. Now, in the city of San Fernando, if there are 31 barangays that would make up the city, then there are 31 material recovery facility. So the material recovery facility is the intervention in the waste management from the household to the final disposal facility. Now, the material recovery facility is also one of the major elements of RA 9003, but is not correctly implemented in most of the local government units in the Philippines. Now, how does a material recovery facility looks like? So here, it's just like a it's like a pig pen, no, with several cells, and you have different waste within a particular cell. So you segregate waste according to types. No? So you have here plastic, hard plastic, and then you have here bottles, and then you have here wood materials. All right. Now, aside from the material recovery facility, within the area is also a composting area for biodegradables. And these biodegradables, once they would become soil enhancers that could be used as fertilizers by the community members. And what happened with this material recovery facility, only residual waste are disposed in the landfill. And so how do we illustrate collaborative management on zero waste practices, no, that facilitates efficient waste management in the city of San Fernando? Now here, again, using the collaboration stream, collaboration plays an important role in the implementation of ecological solid waste management from the city level to the barangay down to the households. So NGO, LGU partnerships aligning zero waste practices from the national goal to the grassroots. So here you have again the stream. So you have the national government, RA 9003, then implemented by the city government down to the barangay. But in the process, you have the facilitation of Mother Earth Foundation, an NGO, and other organizations in the city. So the participation of the civil society. And then giving importance to the waste collectors. No? This is also one of the major actors in zero waste management in the city of San Fernando. They institutionalized waste, the waste collectors. No? And so they are not just picking waste along the street or scavenging, but they are also paid for collecting recyclables. And again here, the households play a major role in waste segregation. So this is the Mother Earth Foundation and the City of San Fernando partnership. Now, Mother Earth Foundation recognized the role of San Fernando, and the organization gave the city a plaque of appreciation for implementing RA 9003. So in 2011, San Fernando formed a partnership with Mother Earth Foundation, a Gaia member in the Philippines that actively promotes zero waste. So here I am the Vice President Internal of Mother Earth Foundation. And Mother Earth Foundation provided the technical assistance to local leaders about RA 9003, including a more comprehensive way of addressing household segregation. One of the first strategies that MEF facilitated in the city of San Fernando was leading an intensive public information. You know, communication is very important in ecological solid waste management. The IEC campaign from the grassroots, from the households, no, for the residents. So the biggest improvements in San Fernando's ESWM, ecological solid waste management, again, is the recognition of the waste workers. The city integrated the informal workers in the system and was formalized in 2012. And these waste workers are the one facilitating the decentralized collection and transport. So in the zero waste initiatives, so you have here RA 9003. Now, the intervention as a major component is the material recovery facility, and the goal is high waste diversion. So in the zero waste initiatives in the city of San Fernando, there is segregation at source in the household, and then the local government unit, the barangay, supported by the city government, established material recovery facility, and then there was the decentralized collection, and they also enhances segregation at source. No? And so within the material recovery facility is further segregation of waste in the community that resulted to resource recovery. And so what happened in the disposal facility is just the disposal of residual waste. So just to give you a empirical result of a diversion rate per year in the city. So the source is the City Environmental Natural Resource Office in 2018. So here in the percentage, there was the increasing diversion rate in the city through time. So from 2012 up to 2017, no, they just maintained the percentage, no? But then with COVID-19, definitely the composition of the domestic waste would be a little bit different with the face masks, no? Of different sizes, of different quality. Okay. So this is just an illustration of the decentralized solid waste handling in the city of San Fernando. So there was segregation at source, where households give recyclable waste to the workers during the collection. And then there is the collection by schedule according to type of waste. And the collection vehicles are tri-bikes, push carts, and small trucks. Then the material recovery facility in operation, which is an open air recovery facility in the different barangays. Now the recyclables are sold to the junk shops. The biodegradables are composted, and those residual waste are temporarily deposited in the transfer station, eventually to the landfill. So from the transfer station here to the landfill, which is outside the city of San Fernando. Now, what are the social benefits of decentralized solid waste handling in the city? So the segregation of source, enhanced awareness and knowledge of the people on ecological solid waste management, and then household giving recyclable waste to the workers during collection, strengthen the capacity building, empowerment of the collectors, as well as giving them incentives, and then the collection by schedule according to type of waste, advocated discipline and cooperation among the people, and then the collection vehicles such as tri-bikes, push carts, and small trucks would provide less cost to the government. And then, of course, for the material recovery facility, again, it provides incentives to the waste workers and promoting bayanihan spirit among the community members, because in the material recovery facility, the community members help together in further segregating the community wastes. And then for the biodegradables, being composted would provide soil enhancers, and then the recyclables sold to the junk shops would give profit livelihood to the waste workers. So eventually, with only the residual waste to the landfill, it would provide well-being to the community. Now, eventually, this would also give savings and profit, augmented the salary of the waste workers. So from segregation to MRF, there is the reinsertion in the economy of this waste. There is the increasing diversion rate, reduction of polling services, and the tipping fee. Now, for the conclusions, the City of San Fernando was able to institutionalize ecological solid waste management based on legal frameworks by implementing RA 9003, also crafting ordinances and institutional arrangements by supporting the different barangays. Now, the ecological solid waste management or zero waste management in the city is a two-way approach, top down from the city government down to the barangay, and then from the grassroots level, from the households, supporting the policies and ordinances of the barangay and the city. So this is more of a barangay-based decentralized collection. It also empowers the grassroots governance and basically provided incentives, economic benefits manifested in terms of income, incentives, and savings to the waste workers and to the households. And social benefits are long-term, such as behavioral change among the residents, like really imposing segregation source, local leaders, and waste managers. So this IDS was the model we crafted based on our study on zero waste city in the city of San Fernando. Now, this zero waste model of Zaman and Liman was the framework that we adopted. So we just followed some of the indicators here. But then as we move along in our study, we were able to craft our own model, and we call it the IDS, institutionalization, decentralization, and sustainability. So you have here the social waste actors from the city government, the Senro, the barangay leaders, and then the households, as well as the waste workers. So there is interrelation between the households, the LGU and NGO. So here in the LGU and NGO, there is a collaboration between the city government and the civil society. Now, there was behavioral shift in the process. So there was some segregation at source, and then segregated collection, functional material recovery in the barangay, in the community, and re-entry in the secondary market through the junk shops.
Prof. Arlen, it's
Eventually,
2 minutes left, Professor.
all right. Eventually, this would increase diversion rate. All right. So lessons, institutionalization, decentralization, and sustainability. All right. Thank you for listening. Good afternoon. Okay. All right. It's
Okay, so
Nicole.
sorry. So sorry, Professor.
Okay,
Okay,
apologies.
thank you so much, Professor. Yeah, a very comprehensive presentation. Yeah, not only talking about the issue, the process, including how to find data, and also several things to involve in your research group. Yeah, and I hope this is I guess also still ongoing project. Yeah, so
Yes.
hopefully your project will be have better result, yeah, and also in your goal. So I would like also to add Sir Albert in our loop today. So everyone, thank you. You already here the two amazing presentation who are also in line, yeah. First from Sir Albert regarding the Batangas State University Innovation Journey, yeah, related to the SDGs number 9, and the second presentation by Professor Arlen to related SDGs number 11. Yeah, there is 2 point that I got from the two amazing speaker today. Both of the speaker mentioned about how we can make comfortable. Yeah, Prof. Allen is try to make comfortable the city, and Professor Albert try to make comfortable for the student who study in the or faculty who stay in the Batangas State University. So they make innovation. Yeah, but if you can see also from here from the both of speaker, the innovation technology is also still consider about the community, yeah, still consider about our environment. So both of them is really show how they care about of our SDGs number 11 and also SDGs number 9 today. So we are very give applause, yeah, from the both amazing speaker. Yeah, you may use the tumble reaction. It's a very interesting presentation. So now I would like to open for the question and answer. Yeah. For anyone would like to deliver the question even either to Professor Arlen or the Sir Albert or to the both of the speaker. So I would like to operate now. You may use the quick raise hand, or it's better if you can use the chat box. Yes, and sending question to us so we can wrap up all the question here. Okay, so maybe before I would like to, is it okay if I may start my question? Actually, several of students already give the question, but maybe I start for my question first. Yeah, I hope it's okay, but yes.
Okay.
So I would like to ask to the Sir Albert first for my question. Yeah. Because I'm also working the part of the partnership university. There is two things, Professor, that I would like to ask from your presentation. You show about your facility supporting related to the research and also the goal for every what we call every center. Yeah, I just want to know during this pandemic of COVID-19, is there any special material or special equipment that you can use in order to preventive COVID-19 and also preventive for disability students? Yeah, maybe this also will be considered if for the student later when we had the partnership, some students still consider if they have disability,
Yeah.
for example, some professor who doesn't have a bit leg. Yeah, we have experienced before. So maybe you may also inform us. And also the second question, if related to the innovation, may I know if we ask your future innovation target, do you would like to plan like make kind of like for example innovation park in Batangas State University
Yeah.
or something related, so then maybe can and then how can you try to involve, especially the student, in order to be active in that center that you
Yeah,
already
yeah. Okay.
built for the student. Yeah, I'm
Now
really
that's
interested, and maybe in the
mm,
future I can send my student to there. Yeah, if you,
yeah, that's
I
good.
hope so. Thank you so much, Professor Albert. Time is yours.
Thank you very much, Wayu, for your questions. For the first question, of course, everyone was caught unprepared during the pandemic. I do believe that, and no one actually has that complete readiness, should I say. Because when the pandemic struck, everyone, I should say also, I believe even UST has a couple of adjustments. And even now, we're still adjusting, you know. In
Yes.
fact, we are adjusting. We are preparing for our face-to-face classes on August. So it's only in August that we're going to have face-to-face. But we are starting with limited face-to-face. Talking about the technologies or the projects that we did during the pandemic, I made mention of our Fab Lab. That
Uh,
Fab Lab actually is one of the first Fab Labs in the country who initiated the development of face shields. Before, during the height of the pandemic, there was no access to commercially available and cheap face shields that frontline workers would be using, you know, because that is during the height of the pandemic. So we actually had a patent for a process on developing such very quickly. And we're happy that it came out as a process. Although now the face shield is not anymore required, actually, but face masks are still required. Um, we are living with the pandemic. So we're living the pandemic. So we partnered with Pythos Technology Philippines. And like what I mentioned, I'm wearing it actually. I'm modeling it. This is a product that we developed actually. This is an antiviral face mask. It's an FDA approved antiviral face mask. The technology used here is graphene. So I'm wearing this now. This is actually the product of one of our locators in the KASD park. So you can hear me very well because actually the sound uh, um, does not affect. It can freely pass through this device, but the virus will not pass. And also, the technology used here is graphene. So the graphene in this filter actually deactivates, and this is reusable. You can simply wash it over and over. So this is the technology that we're using now. Still making use of engineering. We are not. We're starting with our medicine program. So this is something that we've been working on the
Sorry to
part
interrupt. Is
of.
it already commercialized, Professor? That
Yeah, yeah,
max?
this one. This
Ah,
one we
okay.
are partnering with Pythos Technology Philippines. They're the ones actually who's commercializing this. One of our locators is exporting this, but we're developing something much more affordable, ma'am, in the Philippines because this is quite pricey. Actually, the target for this actually are frontline workers, those who are in the medicine. So we're working on something that can masa, should I say, which is very much affordable, an e-version. So the collaboration is that we did the validation of the design through a certain software before it can be approved by FDA. So this one is FDA. I heard that it has already received FDA approval, and the mass production actually is not in our campus but on another site. The actual manufacturing site in Laguna in Batangas. So what they have in our KST Park actually is their R&D. So that particular partnership allows collaboration between the industry and the academe. So they take advantage of the faculty expertise of our faculty to do collaborative research, and of course uh, these faculty members get paid as they are doing that as well. And we're working also some negotiations on the IP for this one. So in terms of course, another thing that we had to prepare during the pandemic is our learning management systems. We call that here in the Philippines flexible teaching and learning. So we set up a specific center to develop modules to work on to work on these modules for flexible teaching and learning. We had to train every once in a while faculty members, young and old, on how to use these platforms. No? So, of course, we did not start from scratch. We just availed of certain platforms, but we developed more of the content. So the platforms are already available. We're actually using simply Google Classroom, the enterprise version. But what's important for us is the content. How are you going to teach, for example, laboratory courses when you're at home, studying at home? So what we did is we made available these virtual platforms. We subscribed to a couple of laboratory enterprise versions of virtual platforms, so that students would still be able to have a worthwhile learning environment even when at home. So yeah. For the second, very quickly, of course, we're open to collaboration, and the way on how we are promoting innovation for our students is, of course, these locators will eventually be hiring our graduates, potential graduates. We have also programs with them on the job training, so that our students would be able to learn firsthand how things are going on in a certain university, and hopefully they would be absorbed eventually in these companies. R&D is also happen. We promote collaboration through research and development with students, faculty, and the industry. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you so much, Sir Albert. Yeah, it's actually thank you, yeah, sir, for presenting about your university. So now we are more understand the confident in the meeting, but here your guest lecture today are very inspiring. But your how you make everything, yeah, in the innovation in university. So I move to the to Prof Arlen, but I keep my question because there is a question from the student from Miss Aulia Harumi. So she is our master student in the School of Management Technology of ITS. So she asks actually the simple question, but maybe it's very hard question, Prof. Yeah, it's also challenging question. So challenging question like Sir Albert mentioned. So the question is how to start a zero waste lifestyle in affordable way, especially in a city with household, Professor. So yeah,
How to start
how to
zero
start,
waste?
yeah, how to start a zero waste lifestyle.
A
Yeah,
lifestyle.
yeah, because you mentioned
All
before that
right.
your target your domestic local in household, so which mean that you will meet people and you are trying to change their lifestyle, yeah, in order to start the initiative. If Sir Albert mentioned is try to young generation to change into the online and technology and
Yes.
so on, but now the question for you is the challenge how you can start, yeah, because it's in affordable way, yeah, in order to people so they would like to think about zero waste
Yeah.
lifestyle, Professor.
How lifestyle is a socially constructed term. No? There are many ways of expressing lifestyle. So zero waste lifestyle. Um, this would be on the individual at different levels, no? Individual level, household level, and then sectoral level. So we in the Mother Earth Foundation, we always tell our community members that first we have to be very particular about needs. So what do we really need? And move away from wants. So there are only few things that we need, but there are many things that we want. And so it's for the individual to find out what you need, what you want. Second is to really reduce the accumulation of unnecessary commodities in the household. Simply because accumulation of commodities, goods in the household equals waste unless there is resource recovery practices like you reuse it at home. now either you also recycle it at home. So that way, at the same time, segregation is very important in the household, even for the individual level. You really have to segregate what you want to reuse, what you want to dispose, what you want to recycle. So again, the zero waste lifestyle would depend upon the priorities of the individual, the priorities, the needs of the household, and the community as a whole. Now, definitely communication is very important. So we in Mother Earth Foundation, we really advocate strong IEC among the community members. Find out things unnecessary will just go into the landfill. All right. So that's my practical answer to that.
Okay, thank you so much. Hopefully, the answer from Professor Arlen can answer the question from the Miss Aulia. Miss Aulia maybe would like to have. Do you think it's enough, Miss Aulia, or do you still have a further question, the follow-up question from the Professor Arlen answer? Okay,
No further question,
yeah, silakan. Okay.
Mr. Wahyu. Yeah.
Yes,
Thank
yes,
you.
please. Thank you so much,
you.
Miss Aulia. Yeah, so maybe I would like to give a follow-up question, Professor Arlen. I'm so sorry.
It's all
So,
right.
yeah, still related with the Miss Aulia question, yeah. So, you because you already make we already declare before that you are more focused to domestic ways, yeah, then for this stage, Professor, yeah, I mean you already start everything now, you are like you already in conclusion, you already mentioned that this is you already mentioned that they already start there, they already agree to initiate zero waste city. So what's the biggest challenge, Professor, in move to the next step? Yeah, is still mindset of the people, or practical things, or supporting from the government? Which one is the most biggest challenging to
You know,
your research?
based on my researches,
Yeah.
there are governance is a very critical issue in ecological solid waste management. There are mayors who are committed to ecological solid waste management. There are many cities in the Philippines whose mayors are very committed to ecological solid waste management. But after the mayor finished his term, the next mayor may continue or may not continue the practices of the previous leader. And so that's where the critical issue comes into the picture. It doesn't follow that if the mayor now commits to ecological solid waste management, the next mayor will also commit to ecological solid waste management, because mayors, again, are not created equal and they have different priorities in their localities. So we observe that in the different local government units that we have studied. Like, for example, in the city of San Fernando, the mayor has already exhausted the 9-year term. And so now he is just resting. No? He did not run for another office. But then we will try to find out if the next mayor will continue what the previous mayor has been doing. So governance plays a major role in solid waste management.
Okay, thank you so much, yeah, for Professor. I see that also you give a deep answer about the governance role, yeah, in your
It's
answer. So
political governance, the
yeah,
political
I
ecology of
understood.
waste.
Yeah, and it's also
Okay.
as our biggest challenge when do some research, but from what your presentation, so I can understood how the process in order your team research to do this research. Okay, thank you so much, Professor Les, for the concern.
Thank
Maybe I will
you.
open for the last question because we almost are 5:30 5:50 15 p.m. right now in Surabaya, and I guess in Filipina it's 6:30 a.m. Still
Yeah.
Albert as well, and Professor Allen is quite busy, so maybe this is the last question. Yeah, is there anyone would like to give a question either to Sir Albert or Professor Arlen? Anyone? Or not? Okay, maybe I will give the last question again to the Sir Albert. Sorry, sorry, sir. I have to ask too many questions. Okay, sir, I just want to asking the simply question actually, sir. In order to maintain the existence for the each um center, yeah, under CTI or still hub, yeah, promoting, do you have like some target, for example, like each center like fab lab or something, they need to product or they need high product, which one do you more focus? They more active to do some research to deliver the product, or they active like to writing paper, something like that? Do you have like special target for the each lab, especially you are as the vice president of research, so
Yeah.
I know you have some target as well,
Yeah,
sir.
yeah. Now each center actually has specific KPIs.
Hmm.
Some focuses on or more concentrated on developing research papers, publications. But in the case, for example, of the Center for Entrepreneurship and Innovation, their KPIs is in the development of startups, which in this case, these startups actually are developing products and services. Okay. So a research center, for example, the GS Applications Development Center is more focused on publications. So that's because publications also is important to the university. But we are transitioning more on commercialization of technology. Like for example, the Fab Lab and the CTI actually, they are our front runners when it comes to commercialization. And the Electronic Systems Research Center, on the other hand, is focused more on R&D, which eventually would turn out into an enterprise to be assisted by our Center for Technopreneurship and Innovation. So there is sort of a, should I say, synergy of the research center. A certain stage will be taken care of one center. After they finish that certain level, they would go to another research center to pursue that. So that's the beauty of what's happening. Everything is happening in just one building. Everything is happening in just one building, an opportunity for these students and even faculty to collaborate and do great things. Thank you
Okay,
very much.
thank you so much, Professor. But you mentioned about the GIs of your KPI. I think I will connect you to our lecturer, professor in here, Professor
Mhm.
Nur Cahyadi, who also have always produced, yeah, something related to
Correct.
GIS. So I will contact you soon, Professor.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you
you
so
very
much.
much.
Yeah, I think if there's any more question, yeah, we are very happy to once again, yeah, please can you give your thunder applause reaction. Yeah, thank you so much for Professor Arlen and Sir Albert, who also spending the time in order in the middle of your busy time, yeah, still promoting your program, your university. Tell us about your innovation journey. Tell us about your research group and sharing to us. And for the one who miss of our guest lecturer just coming late, you may also access of our guest lecturer in our YouTube channel ITS International Office, because we believe that from the our amazing speaker, they are really sharing a very good things, yeah, not only about innovation technology but also talking about the process. Also they share about the challenges. Thank you so much.
If I
And
may, if it's the first time that I met actually Professor Ancheta, and we have actually a couple of technologies also that we would like to share with you, perhaps to address those gaps, like for example, solid waste management and the likes.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
oh,
So
I saw your
uh,
innovations in managing packaging materials, and so That's very
Yeah,
good.
yeah. I get
Technology
it.
Yeah.
driven.
I also see some magister student here, Sir Albert and Professor Arlen, yeah, because
Yeah.
I know they are from our alumni study abroad program that currently they need to
Mhm.
graduate it more and they are really writing published. So I hope if you have something interesting, yeah, you may start, yeah, to contact both Professor Arlen or Sir Albert directly. Yeah, you can also check. Sir Albert already mentioned the email. Yeah, Professor Arlen also you may checking the email letter
Yes.
from the our
Um,
recording.
and um, and I am very open to more invitations coming from you. I really would like to share our researches with you.
Okay, thank you so much, Professor Arlen. But your next nanti I will invite you again for our contact reunion.
Yeah.
Thank you. So okay, let's start for to close off our session today. Let me proceed for the awarding certificate. So let me share again my screen. So again, thank you so much for the both amazing speaker. For here, I would like to proceed, yeah, for the awarding certificate of appreciation as the guest lecture series at ICT Technology 10 November ITS. For the first, I would like to welcome the certificate award for the Associate Professor Albertson di Amante from the Batangas State University of Philippines. Once again, thank you so much, Professor, for your amazing and give us your yeah. Yeah, it will be a certificate and recognition for the contribution as the visiting professor in GLS today, designed by our ITS rector, Professor Dr. Insinyur Muhammad Asari MN. Thank you. And for the next, so second, of course, yeah, our friends as well, yeah, Professor Arlen Ancheta, yeah, you already become ITS actually, Prof, yeah. So thank you so much. So we would like to present appreciation Professor Arlen Ancheta as recognition for valuable contributions as the visiting professor and GLS 2022 on me are also signed by our ITS rector, Professor Dr. Insinyur Muhammad Asari M.Eng. Oh, sorry. My college later will share the soft copy of the certificate, and also Miss Tias will contact to you for delivering the certificate to your university. So we will be in touch soon. Okay, so once again, on behalf of the committee of the GLS SDG today's, yeah, we would like to end lecture today. That thank you so much for joining with us. Yeah, I'm sure. Can we still? I'm not. I'm afraid. I don't know. We still have time to make a photo. But
Yes.
yes, I guess. Yeah, maybe everyone who still attending today, so far of them already left. But could you please kindly open your camera so we can have a picture together, photo session together? Okay, so let me check from gallery. Yeah, Fadil is open. Okay, okay, but yes, maybe you may help. So at least itu. So in 3, 2, 1. Okay, so thank you so much once again. Thank you so much, Prof. Arlen, Sir Albert, and also all the participants who attended of GLS today. For the participants, please kindly don't forget to fill the feedback through the Zoom link. Yeah, through the link bit.ly GLS feedback. So this is feedback is compulsory in order to get e-certificate or the stamp for it. We would like also to remind you the participant who get the stamp for participant is must be on time and join this event until on the end of this program. Okay, so tomorrow we still have of our SDGs program, yeah, with also deliver that you may check from our social media, yes, for the detail and also feel free to join of our program. This GLS program is actually open for any student or any faculty staff who are interested with the topic, yeah, from all over the world, not only limited to ITS student, ITS staff. So thank you so much for our honorable speaker and also all the participants for the attention and cooperation today. We hope to see you again in our future ITS agenda program. Don't forget to always follow our social media on Instagram, ITS International Office, and Facebook, ITS International Office. You may also check all the recording of our activity in our YouTube channel, ITS International Office. Thank you so much, everyone, and good afternoon. Magandang magandang salamat po. Yeah, salamat po for the Prof. Arlen, Prof. Herbert. Hope to see you soon. Thank you so much, yeah, for delivering
you.
nice presentation. I'm trying to be more Filipino today. Thank you so much, everyone. Terima kasih
Okay,
and
thank
good
you. Thank
afternoon.
you.
Have a good rest.
Maraming
Bye bye,
salamat.
everyone.
Thank
Salamat
Bye.
po.
you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Nice to see you, Mr. Wayu.
Thank you so much, Professor. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very
Okay, Mbak, you may
much.
end.
Okay, bye.
Bye.
Bye.